appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of 80 bones, whereas the appendicular skeleton consists of 126 bones, and that's why you are having 206 number bones in an adult. Clear? So when you talk about this axial skeleton, it is consists of 80 bones, out of which 26 bones that is made up of your vertebral column, and also the ribs that constitutes your 12 pairs of ribs and the sternum, and the skull consists of 22 bones and 7 associated bones. This is the axial skeleton. And appendicular skeleton, which constitutes of 126 bones, out of which is a pectoral girdle that is made up of 4, and the upper limbs that is 60, pelvic girdle 2, fan-like structure, and the lower limb 60, upper limb 60, lower limb 60, two girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle, each consist of 4 and 2 bones. So total we are having 126 bones. So pectoral girdle, it consists of clavicles and scapula 2 each. Forearms consist of humerus 2, radius anula 2 each on either sides, left and right arms. Similarly, hand bones, these constitute 58 bones, okay, which constitute your carpals, metacarpals, phalanges, um, uh, and sesamoid bones. Okay. Similarly, pelvic girdle consists of left and right coccyx, two iliomystium and pubis. That is two pen-like structures. And thigh and leg bone, it consists of two femur bones, tibia and fibula. Okay. And you will know that kneecap, that is patella. And feet bone consists of tarsals, metatarsals, classified into different types of bones. For example, you will find that long bones. These are the best example is your all lower and upper limb bones, like metacarpals, phalanges. These are known as long bones. Short bones, these are carpals, tarsals, small bone, tiny structures. Flat bones, that is the scapula, sternum, not having definite structure. You will find all the vertebral vertebra, the vertebral column made up of vertebral column, sacrum, mandible, okay, the lower maxilla, nodules found embedded in the tendons or joint capsules. Now coming to your the very important part, that is skull. Skull consists two parts. One is a cranium, another is a mandible. And when you speak about human skull, it is made up of 22 bones. And this is mandible is the lower jaw, and it is a single bone. Okay. And in the brain box is you will find that without mandible is known as a cranium, and which is made up of 8 bones, and 13 bones are in the facial bones. Okay. Cranium and the facial bones, brain box, and this you will find that the cranium consists of frontal bone, uh, parietal bones 2, occipital bone 1, temporal bone 2, sphenoidal and ethmoid. Okay, one each. So similarly, you will find that facial bones constitute your these are you will say 14 bones, and that is two maxillas, two zygomatic bone, two lacrimal bones, two nasal bones, inferior nasal cones, and tine, vomer, and mandible each. So these are the important bones you have to know. And once you have this cranium, that is without skull, without mandible, so you will find that morphologically, for scientific experimental purpose, and in order to have a very systematic observation about various aspects of um, skull, you need orientation of the skull. You have to means you have to place the skull in a definite position. These are broadly 5 types. They are norma verticalis. You can see from the superior view, norma basalis. You can see from the base, or inferior view, norma frontalis, anterior view, norma occipitalis, posterior view, norma lateralis, lateral view. You are clear? So these are the observation of the skull. So your basic questions will come in your mind that why at all we are studying this in anthropology. There are two important things that you have to study that is very important in anthropology. That is this variation, evolution, and variation. Okay, and you have to understand also what are the microevolution happened with respect to our, uh, you can say, between this species you can say comparative anatomy, that is what exactly happened in the human evolution, bipedalism and vertical erect posture. And also you have to see that genus erectus, homo habilis, homo erectus and homo sapiens, these are the, if you see the human development, then you will have to understand where you will find the development of linea aspera, the development of a cranial capacity, the orthognathes, prognathes reduced to orthognathes. We have lost the power of olfaction. We have having the very powerful vision. We are very good runners. All these things can be understood when you will able to understand, when you will have an understanding of the skeletal system. Okay, and how will measure this? So you have to measure means you have to first you have to find out the, you can say, the bones and also landmarks. Landmarks are these points on the bone from where you have to take the measurements. Okay, and this may be fixed, may not be fixed. There are various type of there are varieties of landmarks, and so accordingly you will have to take the measurements. Okay, so age height norma verticalis, norma frontalis, norma occipitalis, norma basalis, norma lateralis. These are the, you can say, orientation of the skull. You have to place either in a pad or in a tubular carniophore. Okay, by looking at these skulls, you have to place in a Frankfurt horizontal plane. And what is the Frankfurt horizontal plane? Because eye ear plane you can remember. So the orbitalia and aurelia you have to put in the same line. Okay, so there are, that's why you will find that when you will go through these materials you will find detailed bones, and they gradually it will be, you can say, small letters. Okay, B for vortex, B for um, Bregma, and you will find that Gnathion, GN. Okay, so these are landmarks through which you will find that there are zigzag lines. These are the sutures. There are holes. They are known as foramens. Okay, so you have to go through this. These diagrams are not that complex. You first immediately it will come to our mind that these are complex diagrams. So similarly, we are having this girdles, pelvic girdles and pectoral girdles. The pelvic girdle is a fan-like structure. You will find that there is a difference with respect to male and female in the existing new modern human population. There also you will find that with when you compare with the apes. Okay, so it is having tremendous application in the forensic investigation, in the disasters. Okay, in the evolutionary studies, three applications. Okay, and that's why these particular field are in great demand. Whenever there is a train accident, aircraft crash, or you can say criminal crime scene, you will come across fragmentary bones, and from this bone you can be able to analyze. Only when you will have this understanding, and our understanding is that to establish the ancestry, to establish the origin, whether it is a human bone or not, whether it is of what a children or adult, if it is a male or a female, there are certain questions. We are the experts. That's why often the physical anthropologists were termed as osteobiographers. Okay, you have to read the bones. So this pelvic girdle is very evolutionary, very significant. It is a fused bone of ilium, ischium, and pubis. Okay, and similarly, you have a pectoral girdle which consists of scapula and also clavicle, that is known as collar bone. Okay, and also the sternum, where you will find that all 12 ribs were fused. Similarly, you have limb bones, humerus. Okay, so what is more important that you have to understand whenever you look at these anatomical positions, anterior side, posterior side, also medial sides, lateral sides, anterior side toward the front. Posterior side means whenever you are reading the bones, the anterior side means toward the front or toward the direction of the eye, whereas you are talking about posterior side means it is the opposite the direction of the eye. So lateral means toward the side, away from the medial plane. So medial plane means imaginarily we are bilateral symmetrical. You will have a left side and you have a right side. So we are assuming that both sides are similar, but it is not exactly similar. There is a difference. And you will find that what is proximal, what is distal. Proximal means relatively toward the body. Distal means relatively away from the body. And similarly, there are terms on the surface of the bones. You have to understand what is a fossa. Fossa means depression on the bone surface. Similarly, epicondyles. When you will read the long bones, you will come across this epicondyle. They are the elevation placed above a condyle. So, what is a condyle? Smooth and rounded projection is known as a condyle. The portion above it is known as a epicondyle. Then, what is a process? Process means elevation or projection on bone surface is known as a process. What is a spine? Pointed point processes that is known as a spines. Similarly, ridges, elongated elevation on the bone surface. Similarly, crest, sharp and distinct ridge is known as a crest. Similarly, sutures. Okay, these are the meeting point of two bones, particularly in the skull. When you will observe in your natural setting, not plastic, original skull, you will find that the sutural closure and opening will give you a lot of information about the possible age of that particular person or the cranium. Okay. Similarly, sinus, these are implanted chamber of bones. Okay, so these are some of the very important talk. When you will able to understand, then you will find. Similarly, humerus. So when you will study the humerus, you will find condyles, trochleus. So these are pulley shaped surface, trochleus, and condyles, epicondyles. Okay, shafts. Okay, so these are the some of the terms you have to understand. Similarly, radius and ulnar two bones, these are all upper arms. Femur is the longest and strongest bone of our body. Here, most important, the linea aspera. Okay, you will mark this. This is a very important in terms of evolutionary journey of human being because it is responsible for bipedal locomotion and vertical erect posture. Similarly, tibia and fibula. Okay, so these are, I have just give you a very quick overview about the your bones. So what is bone? What are different types of bones? Skeleton. You have endoskeleton. You have a exoskeleton. Endoskeleton. You have a axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. You have a cranium or skull, which constitute cranium and mandible, which are actually cranial bones and facial bones, 8 and 14 bones. Mandible is a single bones. Then you have a vertebral columns. Then you have two girdles, pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, upper limb, lower limb. So humerus, radius ulna, femur, tibia, fibula, and you have a carpals, metacarpals, lower limbs, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Now coming to the second segment of this unit, the in this unit, that is, you will have to an understanding about instruments. First, you have to have an exposure on the different types of bones and its landmarks and projections and you can say various characteristics. Second is that you have to be very careful about the type of instrument that is primarily adapted to taking the measurements. And whenever there is an instrument use is concerned, you have to understand what is the standardized and what is how to calibrate this. So there are weighing machines available in the market. There are spinning and digital weighing machines. Digital will give you in terms of numbers, but that is very, you have to, as a for scientific investigation, you have to very means cautious about using digital. But traditionally we are using the weighing machine that is the spring type, and here you will have to adjust the zero before you are taking the measurement or each measurement. And the most important instrument is the Martin's anthrometric rod. It is a 200 centimeter rod. Okay, it is made up of your four long means the segments and two horizontal segments. Okay, Martin anthrometry rod is primarily used to take the measurement of a height of an individuals. So you can ask me that there are also in schools, in the hospitals, the sometimes they will ask you go and there are you can say scales were printed in the walls and people are taking measurement, but that is for a different purpose. When you are using or studying human growth and development, anthropology, evolution, the basic fundamental question if you ask you whether the height of human being is increasing, decreasing, it will not come in centimeters, rather it will comes in uh, millimeters. And for this millimeters you need very accurate instrument, means accuracy of your instruments, and it depends on what type of instrument you are using, like uh, and how you have to standardize it, and you have to also calibrate the instruments. So anthropometric rod is a very popular instrument. It consists of four segments and two horizontal needles, that is known as, whenever you want to take the measurement of height, and also you can take the measurement of breadth. The upper segment with a movable casket, that is known as the rod compass. So it is a force. You will find that the lower portion is also reversely reading. You will find, so upper segment bears at its upper and fixed casket, while there is another casket which can move up and down along the oriented rod. So this rod compass is used for taking the your measurements of this breadth. Another is that important that how to take the measurements of a head and face. There is an into scale that is very uh, that is been devised, that is known as Martin's spreading caliper. It is available in two types. One is a blunt end, another is a pointed end. Pointed end is used for cranial measurement or bone measurements, whereas the blunt end is used for living subjects. So a meter scale of 30 centimeters is fixed at one arm of this and pass through the socket of the second arms. Okay. So curvature, so you can measure, take them. Similarly, Martin's sliding caliper. So means sliding at the term, it say that one fixed scale is there, another will slide. It will take the measurement. The scale is graduated starting from a fixed end to the 200 millimeter, 250 millimeter. Okay, so you can take the straight lines. Okay, for example, you want to take the nozzle height, you can take the breadth. Okay, so you are having two landmark, that is a straight. If it is a curvature, you can go for spreading caliper. And the next instrument is your skin fold caliper. That is very important. Harpened and skill fold caliper, and to measure the thickness. Okay, you are having various size: bicep, tricep, suprailiac, abdominal, subscapular. Okay, thigh, calf. So these are the points where you will able to measure the you can say the thickness. So the purpose of skin fold caliper is to measure the thickness of the skin fold for assessment of subcutaneous fat at a different site of the body. I have already told you that bicep, tricep, subscapular, suprailiac, abdominal. Okay, so Harpentine and Lang's skin fold caliper are mostly used for the purpose. The caliper consists of round clock-like dial fitters with the studded grip above which it is an elongated lever. The caliper at contact surface of the arm should be kept at a okay. Am I audible? Hello, Arpita and Jema Patra.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it reaching to you?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
No, sir, you are not audible, sir. That's why I raised my hand. Now you are audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, then I'm just again repeating that. Actually, what you have to see that whenever you are doing some practicals with respect to living subjects or humans, then you will find that you can go for linear measurements, you can go for uh, thickness measurement, you can go for circumference measurement. The anthrometric rod, sliding calipers, these are all linear measurements. Whereas you will go for this thickness measurement, that is the skin fold caliper. And when you go for circumference measurement, these are upper arm circumference, mid upper arm circumference, head circumference, abdominal circumference, hip circumference, calf circumference, thigh circumference. So these are, you need a steel tip. Okay, but all will not solve your problem. But you have to go for that. There is a brand known as Sika. Okay, that is primarily utilized for health survey. So you will find that anthrometric rods are available very cheaper, and you will find another instrument that is stadiometer. Okay, there are fixed bars, but that will not able to measure the breadth. Only height will measure. So these are the some of the important aspects as far as this linear measurement is concerned. Similarly, verificator, this is also called gauge and used to verify the accuracy of the caliper. Uh, there are 9 bars rods with different length varying from 10 to 20 feet. So you can also how to standardize and caliber your instrument. The most important is that mandibular meter. It measures the mandibles. So it is a osteometric instrument. You have osteometric board, you have a craniophore, you have a, these are some of the instrument that is not prescribed in your syllabus. Only one instrument that is mentioned, that is a mandible in the lower jaw. That is a you can say nearly L type bone, single bone, and how to measure that. That will give you a lot of information about our evolutionary journey. And there is a horizontal plate, there is a compass. You just place the measurement, adjust it, you will get the readings, angles and length and height. Okay. Similarly, there are instrument like the next unit is devoted to your craniometry, mandibulometry, somatoscopy, and somatoscometry. So, as I have already told you that craniometry, mandibulometry, measurement of cranium or the cranium means you when you have a skull without that is a uh, mandible. So that's why it's cranium. Measurement of cranium is known as craniometry. Measurement of mandible is known as a mandibulometry. Somatoscopy, when you are not able to measure, only observe the living subjects, observable traits, hair color, eye iris color, so eye fold. So these are some of the instruments, the observable character that is known as somatoscopy. And similarly, somatometry means measurement of that is the measurement of the body. So for this, you have to understand the various landmarks.
Hello, sir. Your voice is not audible now, sir.
Oh,
Hello, sir.
am I?
Voice is not
Hello.
clear, sir. Sir, not clear, sir.
Voice not clear.
Yes, sir. Now a little bit clear, sir.
Okay, we'll get. I have just attending one call. That's why having disturbance.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, sir. Now clear, sir.
So, as we are discussing the unit two, that is the you will find that in the skull there are points, there are fixed points, there are points which are not fixed. For example, urine to urine, you have to measure the breadth of the skull. Uh, that is the urine to urine landmarks. Okay. Similarly, there are landmarks like a GN for Gnanthion, GO for Gonion, okay, N for Nazion, similarly NS for nasospinal. So these are the, you have to go norma occipitalis, norma frontalis, norma basalis. You will find it is written small letters, okay, with O, BA. So that you have to read, okay, which are the location. And first is your, the particle experiment is on maximum cranial length. For maximum cranial length you need 2 points. One is glabella, another is ophistocranium. Glabella is for G, ophistocranium for OP. So glabella, it is the point on the protuberance of lower forehead above the nasal root, okay. So why you find that when your eyebrow bridges
Sir,
will,
can you
yes.
repeat what is global, sir?
Glabella, you just try to find out that you just extend your eyebrow ridges in the mid sagittal line where it cuts. That is the point. You will find that actually where the Indian women they put their bindi. Okay, are you getting? Hello.
Yes, sir, I'm getting, sir.
So how scientifically you have to explain this glabella point? It is a point on the protuberance of a lower frontal, lower forehead above the nasal root and between the
Okay, sir.
eyebrow ridges intersected by mid-sagittal plane. Try to simplify, you can
Okay,
understand the mid-sagittal line is an imaginary line which divide the body into two equal half. Okay, and you
okay,
just
sir.
the eyebrow ridges on means either side, it will meet at the mid sagittal line. That is the point known as a glabella. Similarly, ophistocranium, it is the most posterior point in the protuberance of the occipital bone. Occipital bone means your just
Hospital.
backside. Okay, in
Okay,
the
sir. Is
mid.
that above the ear?
No, no, ear, no. That is temporal. It is
Okay,
backside.
sir. That is okay, okay, sir. Hospital that is rear
Backside.
side of the head. Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So you have to take it with it. This is a not a straight line measurement, it's a curvature you have to take. So you have to use spreading caliper. And spreading caliper is of two type. One is blunt end, another is pointed end. Its tips are blunt, its tips are pointed. In case of cranial measurement, you have to use this pointed end. In case of living subject, you have cephalic index, that is known as. Here it is a cranial index, that is a cephalic index. If you go take the, for example, helmets are prepared, various type of instrument we are using, you are getting in the market. These are all standardized in used in ergonomics. Okay, so you have to place this call and you have to either the spreading caliber is the instrument. Okay, similarly
Okay, sir.
cranial breadth you have to take again this is spreading caliper, and you have to, the landmark is urine to urine. Urine is the lateral most point on the lateral wall of the skull on the parietal. You have a frontal, temporal, parietal, occipital. These are eight important cranial bones. Okay, okay, these parietal
Okay,
bones
sir.
you have to take the measurement from urine to urine. These urine points are not fixed. Okay, so uh, there you will find that maximum reading you have to take, okay, with the help of a spreading caliper. Similarly, frontal breadth, ft to ft. Ft means frontotemporal to frontotemporal. The temporal frontotemporal bones are there, so from there you will take the frontotemporal to frontotemporal bones. The instrument here utilized will be sliding caliper. Similarly, foramen magnum, bastion to ophistian. So you go, there is a base, norma basalis, you will see there is a hole through which the spinal cord passes. There are two lamina, one is the bastion, another is the ophistocranium. Okay, bastion is the point where the interior margin of the foramen magnum caught by the mid sagittal plane. Ophistian is the point where the posterior margin of the foramen magnum caught the mid sagittal line. Mid sagittal line means an imaginary line. Okay, so what you will have to get, you have to, there are considered three craniums were given to you. Cranium one, two, three. You can take G to OP, UU to UO to FT to FT, and BA to O. Okay, these will give you in centimeters. Normally, three readings with the average divided by 3. RTL number 2, you have a nasal height, nasal breadth, and not so.
Again, sir, you are not audible, sir.